Today on the Hikate Cultivate Great podcast series, we have Jon Weeks, pro NFL long snapper for the Houston Texans, 12-year NFL veteran, which, by the way, is very, very impressive, Jon, and has played in every single game since 2010, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's very difficult to do, and and also has been named the 2015 NFL Pro Bowler. So thank you so much, Jon, for hopping on. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me. I'm excited to
No,
talk to you.
I'm doing very well. And honestly, like as a young athlete, I'm kind of nervous because
Oh,
I just finished my university degree and now I'm transitioning into professional rugby.
awesome.
And
Congratulations.
thank you. And I hope that I can have a really long career like yourself. It gives me and honestly it inspires me a lot how long of a career, because if you're not an athlete, then it might be kind of difficult to understand, but that, like, your regiment, the NFL, like, it's tough.
Well,
So
thank you. I appreciate
yeah.
it. It's something I am very proud of. Yes, I'm
Hmm.
very proud that I've been able to sustain as well as I've been able to sustain and continue to perform at a high level. So,
Hmm. So first question, what measures do you take, like, to sustain such a long, successful career and continuing?
yeah, so when I first got into the league, I was blessed with great teammates, guys that had a ton of knowledge that I was surrounded by, and basically what I did as a rookie was I just kind of ate up all the knowledge they had. So I would talk to, future Hall of Famers like Andre Johnson and Shane Leckler. We had great tight ends: Owen Daniels, James Casey, Joel Dreesen, amazing running back Arian Foster, and I would just pick these guys' brains and kind of see what they did to sustain and be such elite athletes at the highest level, right? And I would listen, I would take in all the knowledge, and then one thing they always told is, hey, everything that I do might not work for you. So you find what works best for you, and if you find something that works, continue to do it. So that's kind of what I did. I kind of I tried different things throughout my career, and I'd say probably about my third or fourth year in, I found a regimen and a routine that I found worked best for me, kept me the healthiest, feeling the best when I had to perform on Sundays, and it's still a routine that I keep to this day.
What if you don't mind me asking, like, what's some staple parts of your routine that hasn't changed?
So there's one big thing that, and I've thanked this guy as many times as I can thank him. We have a there's a doctor here in Houston. His name, he goes by Dr. Casey Ho, and he has a family. He might get mad at me for saying this because he always says it's not, but acupuncture, chiropractic, but it's kind of a family taught acupuncture, and it's something that those guys, they introduced me to him. I got with him, and it's something that I can't go without for more than
Mm.
2 weeks. I don't know what he does. What he does to me is special because it keeps me feeling great all the time. So I'm very thankful for him. And then there's always the basics, after hard practices, there's deep tissue massage, cryotherapy. Something I swear by is contrasting with the hot and the cold tubs
Mm.
when I can. That's something that works for me, that I found is very effective. Maybe not for others, but something I really do enjoy. So probably seeing Dr. Ho on a weekly to bi-weekly basis, and the cryotherapy pools with the contrast in the hot and the cold tub are something that I have to do weekly.
Yeah, a lot of people, actually, I find like a lot of people neglect acupuncture, and I'm like, man, you just need to find the right person. And I swear it works. Like, it's so good. So it's pretty cool to hear you say that you're into it.
Yeah, yeah, big swear by him very much. I don't know.
Hmm.
I've been lucky to have him my whole career. I haven't
Right,
tried other acupuncture therapists,
right,
but whatever he does it at an amazing level. And again, blessed that he's been a part of my career.
right, for sure. So next question, what's something that other people might value or care about that you don't?
It's a good question. It's a hard question to answer, right?
Hmm.
Everyone obviously always has stuff they care about more than others. There's, what something that matters important to you might not matter to me, vice versa, that kind of stuff. But I
Hmm.
think today, if you go off of what I've done in my career, thankfully, I've been an NFL athlete for 12 years, and I think it's the I guess being anonymous. You
Hmm.
know, I've played with amazing future Hall of Fame amazing players that like have a hard time going to the grocery store. You know,
Really?
because we have here in Houston just some of the greatest fans in the world,
Right.
and those guys would have a hard time going to the grocery store and that kind of stuff. So to be able to
Mm.
have the career that I've had, but to be able to go to the grocery store and stay anonymous and
Mm.
be able to go out to eat with my wife and not be approached by those amazing fans and that
Hmm.
kind of stuff. I think that's been something that to me has been special because the few times I do get noticed, I realize how diehard those fans are. So that's always also a special occasion, But
Right.
just kind of being able to live that daily life outside of football,
Hmm.
that sometimes some guys can't do, because
Mm.
they're such a big name, and that's not a bad thing, that's not a bad thing. I don't want that to come off like, that's a bad thing at all.
Hmm.
But I think that's one thing that I'm thankful for is that I kind of stay under the radar and
Right.
unless you're a diehard Texans fan, not many people know who I am. So
Right. Right. And yeah, for sure. Like to be able to, I guess, separate the two, like football and just when you need to spend time with your family, just it's all about them.
right.
Right, right. At Hecate, we like to use hashtag cultivate great, and there's no right answer, but I'm just curious, how do you interpret cultivate great?
Cultivate great, I mean basically cultivate growing, right?
Hmm.
So in this business, you always have to find ways to grow, to be able to produce, to keep staying on the field. As amazing as the NFL is, at the end of the day, it is business, right? So at times, if you're staying stagnant, if you keep doing what you did previously, although you might have been successful, you're not growing. So, some teams might start looking in other directions. So
Hmm.
basically what I do is I try to go back and I try to look at my season that I had just played, and regardless of how good or how bad, I try to have a very honest opinion, and then I try to grow and see where I can get better for the next year, so that Houston has interest in bringing me back. I try not to
Hmm.
get too stagnant. I try to see how my position is evolving, and I try to grow and keep producing at a high level. Because as
Right.
long as I'm producing at a high level, I think I can play this game as long as I want to play it. It's when I feel like I've gotten comfortable and where I just don't see like I need to improve anymore. I think that'll be the day someone catches me, and
Mm.
unfortunately, I might not be able to play anymore.
Hmm. And by improving, you mean like in terms of growing, you mean like watching film?
So there's different ways, right? So for instance, best example I can give you is when I first got into this league, I was told that if I wasn't a strong 250-pound long snapper, that I probably wouldn't make it because I was going to get thrown around too much. As
Mm.
I've played, the position has evolved to where coaches are looking for a little more athletic, faster, leaner
Mm.
type of long snapper. So I've had to, obviously address my nutrition. I've had to make sure that I've still maintained my muscle mass, but I've leaned out a little bit, that I've
Right.
increased my speed when it comes to covering downfield, but that I'm still able to block and protect against those big guys on the inside. So you're just kind of, you see the position evolve,
Mm.
and you just try to reach the new standard of what it's becoming. And I'm sure very similar to what it is in rugby.
Hmm.
I don't know much about rugby. I apologize. I had a
No,
really good
no,
friend
it's
that
okay.
played in college, but I'm sure there's certain positions in your sport where
Hmm.
they were coaches or they asked you to do this for 1 year, and then the next year when you come back, they're like, hey, well now we want to do this kind of different. So
Right,
you
right,
have
right.
to adjust and continue to grow and be able to produce at that level, but still ask to do the job. So I hope
Right.
that makes sense.
No, I know, I
Um,
understand completely. I actually grew up playing football like all up until university, and I'm really blessed. And like when I was 9 years old, I'm like, I want to play university men's tackle football,
there you
and
go.
I'm really blessed. Like I put my head down, I put a lot of faith in myself, and and my beliefs and stuff, and I made that, and I made that dream come true, and now there's not really a place for me to go beyond university. But I played with men my entire life, and I see what you're saying about the evolution, and because I even noticed too, like even the 4 years that I played in uni, the game changed a lot. the game changed a lot. So rugby's actually new for me as well. So I could probably relate more to football than I can to rugby at the moment. But yeah, that's why I'm just so in awe with you in your career. It's something very inspiring, and I'm definitely gonna keep cheering for you
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
this season because you just signed, right?
Yes,
Again.
I have been welcomed back for my 13th year. So,
Wow.
hopefully all goes well, and I'll be ready to roll week 1.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So thank you so much, John. I really appreciate you hopping on. And I'm sure some athletes are gonna take what you said and apply it to their lives.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.